Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Hey again, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to chat through the new mover journey. This is a webinar around how to use new mover journey data to move ahead of your competitors. My name is Jessica Leone, and I am pleased to present the presenter for today's, for today's webinar meeting, our head of product and data at Valpak, Benjy Uhl. Welcome, Benjy.
Thank you, Jess, and welcome everyone. Thank you and welcome to the New Mover Journey webinar. In this brief, and I mean brief, we are going to kind of talk through the growing trend in our ever-evolving data and marketing world, the New Mover Journey. Many of us today create personas and identity graphs, combining our proprietary first-party and third-party sourcing, then employing machine learning and AI and all the reasons why many of the richest people and most valued companies in the world might be considered techies and geeks and even nerds. Heck, sign me up. I want my own yacht. I want my own space exploration company. So let's discuss some of the data trends while wearing more than a marketing hat. Those hats include data, IT, and finance in order to demonstrate ROI, or the ROAS, return on an advertising spend, and that is part of the evolving tech stack. One of the top research companies focusing on advertising and technology media is Winterberry Group. Their latest outlook for advertising, marketing, and data 2025 is available on winterberrygroup.com. Check it out, which recognizes a new layer in the mad tech universe, the intelligence layer. Nestled in between the data layer and the activation layer, this intelligence layer leverages the data to derive insights and inform decisioning related use cases. Now that's a lot of jargon all at once, so let's break it down a bit. Quite simply, your data needs structure. It needs guidance. Now imagine the different intelligence that can be derived from applying a new mover journey. Customer retention, shopping behavior changes, offer relevance, and creating more purpose and reasons to outreach. So now let's think about the last time you moved, the pain, the excitement, the relief. From listing your home to the move and realizing you still have boxes to unpack a year later. I remember the last time my household moved, and I absolutely felt every single one of those emotions. We built a new house, and it was finally ready. Unfortunately, there was a massive storm that came through the days prior. It was a derecho, a dry hurricane in the Midwest. 80-mile-plus winds, not a fun story. Trees down everywhere, power outages, the galore. And unfortunately, the moving company showed up with one person. And so the other two folks no-showed. So this is July. Humidity, temperatures at and above 100 degrees, and I have to become free labor. Got to move, got to get it done. Now I did experience during my college years a little bit of moving because I did delivery and repo. I did delivery and repo for a rent-to-own company, moving appliances and couches. I never enjoyed the reclining sofas, anything like that. Those were brutal. But unlike my past, I didn't have to move any exercise equipment. And moving a treadmill is very painful, especially when you have to move it to the basement. That's a day I really don't want to replicate. So this is all about change management, and the full range of emotions are very evident. Where life is a highway, moving is a journey, and brands should be part of that journey. So now let's unpack and see what might be defined as that new mover journey. There are 4 scenarios that comprise the new mover journey: homes for sale, pending sale, the actual move itself, all the way to the 1-year home anniversary, and everything in between. So I've listed my home, and that data can be available on a daily, weekly, a dynamic type of basis. And now my current home, it's under contract. The ink is still drying. I'm getting ready to move. High probability it's going to get done. And now the moving trucks are here, and it's time to roll. It's time to go to my next new home to me. The quantities on this next slide are very real and impactful. Now imagine overlaying the various elements of that new mover journey to your own data layer to create this intelligence and activation. We hear about scenarios where movers are increasing or decreasing, and if there are more of your customers in that new mover journey, how is your business impacted? Will your business thrive more or less? How can we leverage this change and be truly change agents through this? Our research team conducted a study around new movers to help brands relate to consumers on the move. And what we found out is 64% of consumers change all or some of their service providers after moving or purchasing a home. That's incredible change. New mover programs can work because welcome new neighbor or welcome to the neighborhood offers, they resonate with this audience. If you're the local dentist or the regional grocer, and you reach out to those moving into your territory, and that consumer didn't live there prior, that is relevant. That's more relevant. And that's a connection within your neighborhood. But it doesn't just stop after the fact of a move. What about knowing about the move prior? What about knowing about I'm now listing my house? What about a celebration offer about that 1-year home anniversary? How might we connect this with your data? So let's consider a few examples. Here's Jane. Jane has ABC Company for internet, and she's a recent cord cutter. ABC Company is the only provider on her street. She now has her home for sale. Should ABC Company know they have a customer possibly on the move, a possible at-risk customer? Jane gets an offer. She can't refuse it, and now her property is under contract. She finds her next home. She moves into a neighborhood where there's multiple options for internet. How and what should ABC Company do with this intelligence layer of a known listing, a pre-mover, and then having the details of the next move and whether Jane continues service? What would ABC Company's competitors like to do? Do they have a chance at winning a new customer? Perhaps a new customer they didn't even have the ability to win prior. And what about the brand awareness that's tied to that? Now let's look at the Martinez family. The Martinez family, they can be found in the club almost weekly. Sure, they go there to stock up on their bulk groceries. Can't believe how much egg prices are today. And they have the occasional impulse buy. We all go to the club and we find out we're going to buy something. We forget how small our car is and we have to go rent a truck or anything like that. But anyway, the Martinez family is growing and they need more space. So they list their 2-bed and 1.5 bath to move to a more traditional 3-bed, 2-bath growing family. They list their home and they need to declutter and they slow up on those bulk buys. What are your systems doing when they see that slowdown? Do they think there's a customer engagement issue? Do they think they possibly might be losing a customer? Do you have the data to tie that together? Their current home is only 10 minutes away from the club, but now they have successfully sold their home and they're considered pre-movers. Moving in, they might be ready to bulk up and fill that massive big pantry now that they have. And of course, they have to buy bulk toilet paper for that additional bathroom, right? So their new home, is it closer or further away from the club? Does the Martinez family have to drive past 1 or 2 other clubs? Or maybe the distance is even longer and the club shopping switches to only once a month. These are data points that can greatly impact your data models, shopping behavior intelligence, and even your identity graph. All right, now let's talk about Bill. Bill's been a loyal, khaki pant wearing customer of the national brand X insurance company with both home and auto. Bill's ready for the next chapter and selling his single family home and ready for the condo life. He might even get a golf cart. Bill lists and sells his house quickly after placing an offer for his new condo. And he contacts his current insurance company. Bill's new premium renewal date is 1 year later from his contract date. So for competitors of brand X insurance, Bill could be a switcher and could be in market, and reaching Bill prior to the renewal of his premium can be the path to their success and working with Bill. The first few years of moving can yield a higher rate of switchers during that in-market moment than an established homeowner overall. Would move distance be impactful? Moving from one state versus another based on the availability of national or super regional, or perhaps even a local agent model of that insurance company? Would moving from California to Arizona be an important data point? What about the couple moving from apartment to their first home and all the big decisions? We've all been there, all the big decisions that come with being a new homeowner. Those are just 3 examples of how businesses might apply the new mover journey within their own environment. But there's tons of other categories: home service, home improvement, banks, financial institutions, retail, e-commerce. All of them have some level of new mover journeys to leverage. This data layer truly can fuel your intelligence layer. And as I shared earlier, it impacts more than one team and one department. Your CRM, your BI, your business intelligence group, your marketing team, and even overall list hygiene or address hygiene, where historically we might use national change of address. But how many consumers don't file a change of address? Back in the day, I've always heard the number is about 65% of consumers file a change of address. The others don't. So you're talking about 35% unknown. That's a big unknown percentage. How could this apply to your own customer retention team? Traditionally, it's a lower lift to maintain a customer than it is to go out and get a new customer, right? Some of the stats that are available from customer retention consultants identify that 6 to 7 times more expensive to acquire a new customer than it is to retain an existing customer. Or that 5% increase in customer retention can increase company revenue by 25 to 95%. That's a massive amount. Imagine how new mover journey data can help your own retention goals. We might find changes in some markets than others, which impacts your customer retention. With the new mover journey, we can establish more opportunities to celebrate the change, to trigger more relevant offers, and apply even more hyper targeting. Now, let's go back and unpack that, pun intended again. So I hope this has been informative and inspirational. The interactive part is up to you. Have the conversations internally and how your brand fits within this new mover journey. I'm confident of your success and all that's possible through your agency, your brand, your vision of how you can win more with these types of insights, this intelligence layer, connecting your data and your activation. So to engage and interact with us, just scan the QR code and we can discuss a little bit more of the new mover journey specifically for you, the overall marketing, data, and activation. So thank you for your time. Thank you for committing to the time to join us, and good luck in your next new journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benjy, for your time. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Like Benjy said, please scan the QR code if you're interested in more information about the new mover journey. You can also email us directly at media@valpak.com. Once again, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you all.